All right. Try number three for Dexter Original Sin, episode 5. Yeah, I just recorded like almost 7 minutes of this episode, and it turns out my mic died. I'm glad I caught it only 7 minutes in. Sorry, why do I have hair? I have animal hair all over my mic. But yeah, okay, so I'm watching the previews right now. You know what? Maybe it was probably a good thing that my recording just got deleted because I was just talking about um, some Dexter lore, mythologies about the show, and some deeper stuff. But I guess it has nothing to do with this episode. So maybe it's a good thing that all that dribble got deleted. Now we're into the intro. I talked. So one thing about. Well, I'm on the intro, so I won't say anything too important, just in case people want to skip the intro. Uh, I like how in this intro, it doesn't just show, it shows the whole family. It doesn't just show, um, Dexter and his morning routine. It actually shows everybody. And, Patrick Dempsey. And I know that was very important, for the creation of Dexter for, Clyde Phillips, which was, um, just family. Just family is a big theme with Dexter. So just good American family, suburban family, and how they live and stuff like that. Life is crazy. Life is interesting. Sometimes wonder going through all the bad stuff is just pieces that need to be shed from the human condition. But until we find good resolutions, then we don't know how to shed the dark, painful things in life, horrible things in life. And eventually, when we don't know how to deal with it, then we're just like, we think that it's normal. And once we think that things are normal, it's normal to be in pain, it's normal to be miserable, and life's, once we feel like it's normal, then we don't do anything to actually fix ourselves. We don't do anything to really get to know our true nature as humans. It's like evolution seems to be well, I don't well, I think evolution has just been guided in an unfavorable direction. I'm not trying to get into. All right, so now Dexter's cleaning up all the evidence right now. But oh, okay, he did get the guitar. I missed that in my first recording of on this. Yeah, did get the broken guitar. But he's cleaning up all the spots. 12 minutes. Nice, Dexter. Got 3 minutes left to spare. Oh, never mind. Cops are doing their job too well. But yeah, I like the ability to for people to just know that when we feel a certain way, when we feel bad, it's usually a symptom that something's wrong, something's missing, something needs to be fixed, and it seems like almost wrong to pursue it, or it seems almost wrong to try and fix it. And instead, it's just no, don't fix it, don't fix yourself. Just whatever it is that's making you feel bad, just get rid of it. Unfortunately, it's the better parts of ourselves that make us feel bad because the better parts of ourselves are hurting. When the better parts of ourselves are hurting, it gives us symptoms that are painful. And all we want to do is get rid of the pain instead of fixing the source of where the pain came from. Or we'll rather kill the source of where the pain's coming from, which is the better part of who we are. And then, well, people say, what do I need any kind of goodness for if goodness creates bad? Well, by getting rid of the goodness inside of you, then all that's left is the bad. So, in a sense, it doesn't make sense when people say that. Get rid of your good moral compass because it stops you from having a sense of you know. Anyway, Harry is disciplining his child. Right, I forgot I recorded this. I have to go over it a second time. I was explaining in this scene, I love how this is addressed right away. How Harry is talking to Dexter. Um, I love how this show constantly. I really love what they did with Harry and how the show just how they constantly bring depth to Harry's character. You're going back to basics, training exercises. Yeah, well, yeah, this show. Dexter, you're grounded. I Want That Man by Deborah Harry. Of course, interesting song, but also the band having both the first names of Deborah and her dad, Harry. One thing I think they did really well on this season, as opposed to another TV show on Showtime called Shameless, which was a 10th season. I can't speak too much on other shows. I've only seen Friends and Shameless and I'm not sure if I've seen anything else. But for 10th season, normally the number 10 is really a transparent number. Oh, look, there's a perfect cross on the scale. But I love how there is a perfect cross, and ugh, sorry, brain. Oof, there's the body. Harry just making sure it's you know not too identifiable. But anyway, so yeah, the number 10 is very transparent, and once you really get to the number 10, it gets to be very. It feels like something is missing. It feels, like I said, transparent, but it feels like there's no direction here. It's just what's going on. What's going on exactly? Like what's happening? And when you get into the 10th installment of any franchise, you have to really know how to handle that because once you get to that transparent space. Oh, so that's what Dexter meant. It was it wasn't death, it was killing that satisfied his urge. So then he wants to kill food. Yeah, that makes sense now. He's about to just kill a bunch of food because yeah. You have to be very careful. So when you have the number 10, this show things seem to be very unmemorable and scattered and just voided in the mind like you're like what's going on right now? And it's very easy to forget things. And usually that happens in every 10th installment of a franchise. Um, but what you can do in a 10th installment of a franchise is you use the transparency to really implant deeper deeper, e- I guess, deeper emotions and feelings. Just, just deeper things, deep characteristics. You just gotta have these memorable elements in implanted in the story to make it memorable, to really make it balance out the story. That's what they did in Saw X. Fast X, they did not. It was transparent and everything was choppy and all over the place. Shameless was the same thing in season 10. There was no real sense of guidance in the story, and it kind of just did whatever. It was just moment to moment. It was like, okay. And then this season of Dexter, season 10, The Original Sin, um, is sort of the same. You can see the elements of forgetfulness. You can see the elements of transparency. You can see the elements of it's kind of hard to keep track of what's going on. But the directors did this show and this episode so well to where they constantly bring you up to speed with what's going on with so many different storylines and story arcs. And they constantly bring depth to each story, each arc. And by actually giving more depth to each story, that's where you're actually hooking in the audience. And so they were very aware of that when they did original sin. But if yeah, okay, so if you guys get me, get my content, then you know where I'm coming from. Oh no, Harry! He went back and chose it himself. He chose Laura. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Cuddle, cuddle, cuddle. This episode, this TV show. I found this TV show and I found this exact episode, and it took me a while to find it, a long time. Eventually, I did find it, and I think I actually forgot to write it down. Did I? This is episode 5. Nope, nope. Yep, that movie is called Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Oh yes, it was a movie. Parker Lewis can't lose was the show that Dexter is watching as he's high right now. And yeah, the second show that came on the TV was I Love Lucy. I recognize that one. Goodness, this Deb actress. This guy plays such a good Dexter. I'm wondering if Patrick Dempsey is going to come back in Dexter Resurrection, because like in the season 1 and 2 of the original Dexter, um, they would have flashbacks. So I'm wondering if they're going to have flashbacks of Dexter and possibly Deb. I don't know, but just to keep Deb alive in the show. I'm actually kind of glad that they killed Deb off, only because she was such a strong anchor for the show. So it's nice to I think I just spoiled something. I'm sorry. But only because as the seasons continue on, they find creative ways to keep her around. So Anyway, yeah. So they're getting high right now. Of course, Dexter has the munchies. Of course, yeah. These are always the best moments. These brother and sister moment. But just having these moments with someone you care about, sitting on the couch, just eating pizza, relaxing, watching a movie. That was the best ever. The thing is, in today's society, we don't really have this anymore. We don't have these intimate, tender moments anymore. They're just like gone. They're gone. They've been taken over by machines, by computers, by cell phones. Nowadays, it's like, yo, you want to come over and have pizza? It's like, what, bro? We got Discord. Just DoorDash me a pizza and just eat it here. You do it at your place. We'll always get on a Discord call or something. It's like, nah, it's not the same. Let's go over your house and play video games and stay up all night. It's like, no, just get your Xbox Live account. We'll play some. Sorry, I know that's gonna come out loud on the. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but no, it was like, bro, we have internet now. We can just play from our own houses. There's no need to go over anyone's houses. It's like, man, it's like watching this scene with Dexter and Deb, and they're high right now, and they're just bonding. It's like, man, this is a very beautiful moment, and and these moments deserve to be cherished. The people that we love, because they're being threatened right now. This world is facing some very big monsters, very big monsters. And sometimes being reminded of the better parts of life actually shows us what those monsters are. It shows us what those monsters take away from us and what they threaten in us. I know some people want to be, philosophical and, oh, this is about justice, this is about this, and this is right, this is wrong. I know people are like that. A lot of people are like that. But once you have a genuine, happy bonding moment with somebody, like with Dexter and Deb right here, then it's like, oh, this is what life is about. This is what matters in life. The people that are here with me, the people that are here for me, the people that love me, the people who care about me, the people who want the best for me. But for some reason, a lot of people are like, it's not enough that people in the world, it's not enough that my loved ones accept me. I want the world to accept me, and I'm going to demand that they do it. And then people start feeling privileged. They start feeling like the world owes them something, and people are like, "Get out of my face!" And they're like, "Oh, so you're a hateful person? Okay, I'm gonna have to destroy your life now." It's like, why do you need these people's approval? Why do you need this person's approval? Like, you definitely cannot save the world that way. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now Doris, I was hoping to see Doris in the show. I'm glad she pops up every now and then, but yeah, and I think that it does bring a whole new layer to Harry. Mm. I love the freedom of expression between actors and writers. The show has always been good at writing, evolutionary writing. That's why I loved it. For this to be early 2000 show, the writing was really ahead of its time. Whimsical music. Come on, Dexter, you better drink that orange juice. There's Sarah Michelle Gellar showing off her legs, because Goodness, she still looks like a teenager to me. She still looks like that little old Radio Shack Portavision. She still looks like that little old girl from I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm glad they got her. I like how Sarah Michelle Gellar is like Dexter's teacher, and Rita, um, Julie Benz was Dexter's lover, and I just love the dynamic that Sarah Michelle Gellar and Julie Benz had in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I like that they both have a connection into the Dexter universe. Here's Maria Liqueta. This boy right here, 90s, with his haircut. Yeah, back then looking good was just a natural part of the day. It's just what you did. There was no philosophy behind it. Behind most things in life back then, it was just what you did. We were just well kept together, well groomed, well managed. It's just how it was. And then, yeah, people started saying, hey, you can come however you want to in life. It's like, okay, well, understand what that means when you say people can come as they are. They can dress however they want to. There's no certain way to dress and look for society. You know, I like how Dexter says. I like how Dexter compliments this boy right here when he comforts him. That was Dexter saying thank you for like not letting me get caught. At least he was sincere. But yeah, this kid right here, he's acting this scene really well because it feels like it's not a scene being acted. It feels like this is a legitimate individual person going through something and having a reaction that he would have himself. And that's one thing I love about Dexter Original Sin.
Bad things happen, but they don't have to define you. What matters most is what you do next. How you grow from this, up to you.
Anyway, sorry if that was a bit loud just now. But that's what I like about Dexter Original Sin is a lot of the background actors or one-off actors. They they act as an individual person, not just as like a robot or an NPC in a big world. And so I think that really does feel and brings color to a black and white canvas. And yeah, bad things happen in life all the time, and you just have to choose how you grow from it. Just gotta choose, you know, that hat that's in the back next to Michelle Gellar. Michelle, no, Sarah Michelle Gellar. I believe that is a Miami Charlotte's hat. Yes, the basketball team from back in the day. Yeah, my dog is giving me no space today. She's trying to talk in the mic, so I really enjoy LaGuardia's. Yeah, life accidents happen every day. They happen all the time. But once you're in a circumstance that is out of your control, well, you got to figure out what this circumstance means to you. You got to figure out what this moment means to you and how it's going to define the rest of your life because it's not an option. It's not an option to not have it define or influence your life in any way. That's not an option. The option is how you choose to let it happen. And that's a mentality that we all need to learn to yes, adopt. They're in the courtroom right now. This dude with his mutton chops. I believe that's what you call those. Think the hair on the side of his face, mutton chops. But yeah, sometimes you just got to learn how to direct what happens to us. And a lot of times people are like, "No, I'm good. I'm just gonna not do anything about it," and then getting into bad habits, and life just hurts. Life can really be an amazing thing. Which mm, nah. So now this woman comes into the courtroom, all dressed up and looking nice, and then Harry remembers, oh yeah, that's the girl that was high and couldn't comprehend what was going on, and she didn't know what day of the week it was, and yeah, she was stoned, obviously lying. She didn't know anything. She didn't look anything like the person who paraded here today. And there's this lady. That would have been funny if that was actually Ellen Wolf. That was no, okay. It says her name is Shears. I was gonna say, is that Ellen Wolf? Let me see real quick, but no, her name is Shears. You should know better, detective. On behalf of Florida State. Our bad. My bad, you can go. Yay, freedom. Captain Spencer. Gosh, how he's just chewing, and that smile, that smug look on his face. Interesting choice in clothing. I actually looked up the racehorse that Sarah Michelle Gellar was betting on, and when she was watching the Poor Division TV, and I actually didn't find anything on that horse. Which I don't know if it was real or not. But yeah, So that TV that she was watching at the bottom, it said Radio Shack, and Radio Shack was a store that had all of our electronics, all of our cords, cameras, things like that. It was a good place. It was an awesome place. Unfortunately, it went out of business. I think I was younger. That was the first place that like went out of business where I actually like paid attention to. So when they were like, "Oh, it's out of business now," or "It's going out of business," I was like, "Look, they're coming back, right?" They're like, "No, never." I'm like, they'll come back. And to this day, they never did. It's great. So now Dexter got him some um at a torphine, I think. The M99. I remember in one of my original stories, it was loosely based off of Dexter. The motivation behind the story was based off Dexter, and I had a Easter egg, a mention of the M99 that he used, and I did a lot of research to find out what it was, what kind of chemical it was, and things like that, and what the actual term name for it was. It was a lot of research. It took a minute. So after I did find it, I remember I made an Easter egg in one of my stories, but like now, um, in Original Sin, they kind of went into details about it. I love how this horse is just staring Dexter down. But yeah, so now that they went into some more detail about it in Original Sin, it feels like, well, now it seems like I'm copying. Well, no, I just wanted to have a little Easter egg, and yeah, when it comes to horses, just don't back down from horses. They will test you, and if they know that you're scared of them, they will take advantage. I had one horse that tried to take a bite at me, take a bite at my side. I think he was joking, but still, he nipped me a little bit. And there's no way I'm falling asleep again. I don't know why I'm so tired. I had plenty of rest. Oh, and here's Deb at the cemetery. Yeah, Sunset Springs Cemetery. Yeah, poor Deb. Deb really did have it rough in this show. At least she has Sophia, right? Mm. You know what? I actually think that it's a few days away from Valentine's Day, and I think the new episode of Dexter comes out on Valentine's Day. Last episode of Original Sin. Mm. Yeah, there's no such thing as a Deb without grief. Unfortunately, without the tears and the yelling, so and the heavy emotions. So yeah, I wonder if this actress Molly Brown knew what she was getting into. No, and so Deb walks away. I know there was a message there that Deb's mom gave to her, and I apologize. I didn't catch it in time. Oh, he bungled an alibi. I did hear somewhere that Dexter's attire, depending on what Dexter is wearing, his shirt, it actually signifies what kind of emotional state he's in. So throughout the show, he had shirts that would be different colors, and each color actually meant represented something for Dexter. But I think we all know the gray, the green, what that means. You Unfortunately, there might be a second um delay because I think I may have to leave right now in the middle of my recording. There's no way I can stay up right now. Yeah, well, let's see. Well, at least the first 36 minutes are going to be on sync. And I will return shortly. All right, I am back. I apparently fell asleep during this recording. Um, Hopefully it wasn't too long. The recording was not saved, which means I can't edit it technically. So if I did stop it, I would have to um start it over. So let's hope this is all right. All right, so now we have Harry talking to Laura outside. I love there's a color scheme of red and blue that's repetitive in this show, and I just love how there's like the blue neon light shining, or both the blue and the red on Harry's face. I love I love the symbolisms, how they're spoken visually and everything. Yeah, now Harry comes in. Oh, just working late. And she says, Dora's his wife. Um, she's saying, "Oh yeah, we should celebrate because I'm pregnant now. I'm having a baby, and this is a introduction to a possibility that Deborah may not actually be Harry's biological child, which would be crazy." Yeah, that opens up a yeah, that opens up a whole new world of possibilities to where the show could possibly go in the future. But knowing how good the writers are, I don't think they're going to go that route. Mm. Ooh, must have been asleep for a minute. Okay, so I should just restart this. But I do remember, I think I was asleep for 7 minutes. I remember the 31-minute timestamp. Oh, and now here's Geo. Geo taking Deb out. And he has his car parked in there by the beach and everything. Um, yeah, what I liked about this scene is when she turns to kiss Geo, and there's that roar of thunder in the back, and that was it was like Deborah's mom trying to warn her, hey, no, this is a bad dude, this is a bad person, stay away. Just like how she was in the apartment earlier, and there was the snake showing that this dude was a snake and he was dangerous. I remember watching that scene, but I don't remember talking about it, so I may have passed out during that one. That'd be funny if I posted this for like 5 minutes. It was just me snoring. But hey, these recordings, They're just realistic and raw. So whatever happens, during these recordings, I post it. This I'm going to be very, very upset about. This scene, you see Harry drinking, and here's Captain Spencer, joining him at the table, of course, but not drinking himself, just talking to him about his job and everything like that, and how he messed up Levi Reed uh, witness and case and all that. What bothers me, oh, look at that, another black extra. What bothers me, there's a painting between the two of them, and boy, did I do some research to try and get the name of that painting and the artist. I could not find anything, but I really, really want that painting. Replica, poster, something. Is a beautiful painting with a woman that's in the background. If I ever find that, if I ever find that painting, it's going in the glass case. It's going in the display case. I should get a display. Well, no, I don't have space. I don't have a pad, any place to put anything right now. Ah, man, those chairs. When I get me a crib, I'm gonna get those little, half crescent moon chairs that they have. I'm gonna have a decked out pad. Yeah. Landlords probably won't like me because they'll be like, "What'd you do to my house?" Like, I destroyed it. I'm living in it, so you know, I broke down some walls, made some new rooms, turned the closet into a bathroom, a half bathroom. You don't have legal permission to, well, not fixing it. So, and, I love how there's another cross in the back on the door. Obviously, that's a part of the architecture of whatever building that they're on, but it says intriguing music playing. I wonder what song is playing. Oh, classic Dexter song. Endorphin hydrochloride, HCI injection M99. I think I fell asleep during the horse part. That's right. Anyway, sorry, thinking out loud now. Ah, now here's Harry on his way to go get our boy right here. I love this scene because it's like a big reference to, at least from my experience, it's a big reference to season 2 of Dexter. With the little Chino storyline. I don't want to. Anyway, so like how, yeah, this just reminds me a lot of the little Chino storyline of them getting him and him doing his thing, and yeah, whoops, boom, right here we got Harry. Harry wakes up on the table. It's like, whoa, what is this? Now this really throws the fans for a loop, a big loop, seeing Harry in there. It's seeing Harry on here. Thought so interesting because Dexter is really bringing Harry into his world. Oh, sorry, I'm enjoying the scene now. But yeah, I understand a lot of people who listen to these recordings aren't gonna be watching the scenes at the same time. They're just gonna hear my voice and see a picture. they had like this scene because it's Dexter really stepping up his game and showing, hey, I got this, I can do this, I gotta, mistakes happen, but I'm owning up to it, doing the, trying to do the responsible thing. Oh, I was just thinking, wait, what area is this? Dexter's always been a poetic show, so the show of deep symbolism from religion and things like that. So what was the symbolism of this room? But then he said, um, your sister might be home, and he has the Dexter brought the note, so this is their house. Oh, my battery's dying. Get to that right away, cause if my battery dies, then I gotta do the whole episode over. And the rare opportunities I get to record these days, I cannot afford. Yeah, to waste more time. Boom. Got it just in time. I love this. I love how many people Dexter actually cuts loose. Before it was like when he did it, with our girl in season 7, it was like, okay, cool. And he does it. Then he did it with our boy Zach in season 8. Zach had so much potential as a character. He really, really did. It was really dumb what they did with Zach's character. Like Zach and Vogel, the show especially Zach. They could have let Zach, play out his story. I guess I can understand why they didn't though, but still. Um, oh, smelling salts. I was always wondering what that was in the original Dexter. That Dexter used to wake people up. The thing I really, really liked about this scene is Christian Slater seems very in tune with something that is dark inside of himself as an individual person. And in this scene, as he's talking to Patrick Dempsey, you can really see that whatever dark that is in Christian Slater is really out and it's balanced and it's just like he's letting it have a turn in the scene. Um, you can really see his eyes telling that story. Yeah, that's what I love about it. I love this show for how serious it takes um everything, its scenes, its actors, all of it. A bit of a waste of plastic, Dexter, but I guess it's not the work that matters. It's the finished product of it. It's the message of the work. Yeah, the message of the work. That's a big deal. Yeah, and Dexter sets up 3 chairs. Oh, there's the fourth chair. Okay. This scene right here where Dexter was saying one time when I was 13, he said there was something off about me. I believe that scene was in the original Dexter. It's weird. I feel like I've talked about all of this already. But I believe that scene was in the original Dexter. In season 1, I think Dexter was younger. So this is interesting how Dexter says, I miss you, looking at me and seeing a chance of goodness. But Dad saw something different. That I could never be good. That maybe I could still do good. Yeah, this really does show the split in Dexter's persona, or in Dexter's mind, that separates him and his whole life, and the Rita storyline in the original Dexter. Rita was very separated from everything else in the show, and right here you can see that split in that scene where when he goes to his mother's grave. Um, yeah, he says goodbye and all that. End credits. So there was a scene that I remember in this episode. And I was see if I can get through it real quick. The scene where Dexter sit when Deb says, "What do you remember about Mom?" and Dexter was like, "I remember her putting my hair behind my ear." I could have sworn that was Laura Moser who did that, but in this scene, Dexter said it was Doris. So I wonder in the original series who it actually was that Dexter was remembering, or maybe symbolically doesn't matter. All right, thank you for listening. Showtime.